I've spent almost a decade studying the strategies that top e-commerce brands use in their email marketing to generate millions in revenue. I've studied exactly what it is about their emails that make them dominate such saturated markets and make people want to buy their product in a heartbeat. You see, these brands have mastered consumer psychology that they've been able to craft their emails so perfectly that the person on the other side has no choice but to check out their products. And it all comes down to these 3 psychological tips that create a high converting email. These are the same tricks that my team and I have used to generate millions of dollars across hundreds of brands that we've worked with. Let's get into it. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you've opened an email because something about it just felt right, but you couldn't quite explain why? You see, there's one element in email marketing that's silently making or breaking your results. And most brands are either ignoring it completely or getting it totally wrong. And that is color psychology. One study on the impact of color on marketing found that 62 to 90% of what we think about products comes down to the colors that they use. When you receive an email in your inbox, your brain makes a decision about it within 50 milliseconds. In that tiny fraction of a second, colors play a huge role in determining whether you open it, engage with it, or delete it. This is the power of color psychology in email marketing, and it's what separates high-performing emails to those that just get ignored. In a Netflix documentary, it was revealed how Amazon tested hundreds of combinations of button colors, headline colors, and call to action phrasing, all to figure out what makes people click and buy faster. You see, every color triggers specific emotional responses. And when you understand emotional color psychology, you can pick colors that reinforce your message. For example, color red usually signals urgency, excitement, and passion. You've probably noticed how most brands running flash sales and limited time offers always use the color red. That's because they're emphasizing its urgency. Think about why fire trucks and police sirens are also red. It instills urgency. Yellow, on the other hand, represents optimism and energy and works really well for educational emails, welcome series, or even brand storytelling. So it's fair to say that color psychology is not a luxury in modern email marketing. It's actually a necessity. Every color choice directly impacts whether subscribers open the email, click the CTAs, or even convert. Now, let me ask you something. Why do you go to lunch with your friends instead of eating alone? Why do you join online communities based around your hobbies? And why do you still show up to your high school reunion even though you swore you wouldn't? The answer is simple. You have a need to belong. You see, belonging is one of the most powerful psychological forces that drive human behavior. It's not just a preference, it's something that we all need. And the biggest e-commerce brands know exactly how to tap into that in their email marketing. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The point is not to tell someone that they belong in a group, you need to make them feel it. Let me show you how brands like Gymshark do this. So as you can see on my screen here, we've got a guy with these battle ropes doing a CrossFit workout with a headline that says, "The Vital Quarter Zip," zooming in on our favorite fit. And then we have a call to action button right here that says Shop Vital Quarter Zip. But if you carefully read the email, the word CrossFit isn't mentioned here at all. What Gymshark is doing here is that they're showing you a picture of this guy doing CrossFit, so that way you can immediately associate with him. Maybe you want to be this guy, or maybe you already are that guy. Either way, Gymshark has a way of crafting this email to pull you in without you even knowing why. That is your urge to belong. The thing is, Gymshark didn't need to spell it out. They didn't need to say attention CrossFit athletes. They just showed you the lifestyle, put their product in the middle of it, and then let your brain do the rest. You see, consumers don't see themselves so much as just buying products, but rather belonging to a larger movement. So the next time that you sit down to write an email, don't just think about what you're selling. Think about who your customer wants to be. Reflect their world back to them. Speak to their identity. Make them feel like they belong, and they'll come to you every time. By the way, if you want to go deeper on everything we've covered today, I put together a free email marketing playbook. It's 126 pages of every strategy and every insight that I've learned after 10 years of doing this. The same ones that we've used to generate millions of dollars of revenue for e-commerce brands. It's completely free. The link is in the description. Go grab it. Now, I want to show you something that most brands completely overlook. And once I show you this, you will never look at an email the same way ever again. You see, the top brands are using this to guide people's eyes exactly where they want them to go without them even realizing it. I'm talking about visual hierarchy. Visual hierarchy works because it matches exactly how our brain processes information. When scanning an email, your eyes are drawn towards larger elements before smaller ones, high contrast before low contrast, images before text, and faces before objects. Now, smart e-commerce brands are actually using different tactics to guide people's eyes directly down to the CTA button. So as you can see on my screen here with this example, you can see that this 50% off is taking up a big portion of the email, which is exactly what what they want, because they want your eyes to be drawn here to this big 50% off offer. And then as you come down, you're naturally going to be pointed towards this CTA button. So they start off wide and then they narrow your focus down to that CTA button where they want you to click on that email. Same thing with this example here. You can see that their title of the email says Meet the Down Pillow, and there's a little bit of body copy that takes up a little bit of space, but then your eyes kind of narrow down to that Shop Now CTA button. So again, they start off wide at the very top of the pyramid, and as you start to go down in the email, your eyes start to narrowly focus on that CTA, which is exactly where they want you to click. Understanding your customer's psychology is the foundation of everything. Get this wrong, and it doesn't matter how beautiful your emails are or how good your offers are. Nothing will convert in the way that it should. You see, my team and I have been in the game for so long that we got to understand our clients' customers even better than they do. And don't just take my word for it.
Their team are super helpful and very knowledgeable when it comes to designing, copywriting, and also market research, because it's very important to understand your demographics, like the target audience that you're sending the email to. Even though in theory I should know my customer the best, but they really have a really great grasp on my demographics. They know what to say and what to send them to make the email engaging and have a high conversion rate.
That deep understanding of customer psychology is what drives results like these. So if your email marketing isn't performing the way you know it should, then click the link below and book in a free call with me. I'll take a look at what you're currently doing, tell you exactly what's holding you back, and let you know whether our email system is a good fit for your brand. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.